Hello everybody, lilahsgigi here, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Jennifer bracelet by the Looming Artist. She created this for one of our friends who is going through chemo, Jennifer Mast. So say your prayers please and keep her in your prayers. If you're not following Andrea, please give her a follow. She has some awesome designs on her account. She is created from, I don't even know when she started creating these, but they're just beautiful. So if you're not following her, give her a follow on Instagram. She also has, on YouTube, she also has an account there. I believe they are like her flipograms on that. So a lot of her videos are on there. So I'm going to show you how to do this one today though. This is a 5-pin bar setup, standard setup, down the middle, up on both sides. Make sure that your arrows are pointing away from you and that your pins are all pointing away from you. Okay, so she has beaded this a little bit differently. So I have three different types of beads and then a center. I don't know which center I'm going to use yet. I am leaning towards this one, but I will see if it fits. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I'm using 3 colors. I'm using the pearl white or silk white, and the baby pink and metallic. This is looking kind of blue here, so let me try to change my color here. Okay, that looks more white. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is drop a band. And then we're going to go ahead with the border band, just your typical border, out to the right and out to the left. And don't forget to push your bands down. Grab some more bands here. Okay, so I'm going to bead every other one up to the top. So that will be, and I have put these little pink seed beads on here. So plain band, beaded band, and then you'll go with a plain band again. And then on the right side we will do the exact same thing. So you have a plain band, beaded band. You don't have to bead them if you don't want to, but it's really, really pretty beaded. Okay, and then, oops, plain band. All right, so go ahead and finish that up, and then I will be back and show you how to close it off at the top. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay, so I am back, and this is how I ended it. Beaded band, plain band, and then 2 plain bands in towards the center. Okay, and this is what your loom should look like, pretty simple. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I beaded these pearls, and I'm hoping that the size is okay. So I said baby pink. Well, it's a sweets. Baby pink is what I'm using. So just to let you know. All right, so what we're going to do, second pin bar, first pin, you're going to just take a long diagonal out to the left. And now is where you would add this bead. Get that on there. And it's a long stretch, so you do want to make sure that you use good quality bands with this. And that is way crooked. Okay, so these are all long stretches, and you will lay 4 beads up the side. So you'll have plain band, beaded band, plain band, beaded band, and you will add 4 of these up this side, and the same thing on this side. And then you'll go to regular bands until you get, let's see here. So this would be a plain band, beaded band. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe when you get to here, and I will let you know. I will take it up one side with you. So let's do that, and then you can just mirror it on the other side. Okay, instead of me doing both sides with you. So plain band, beaded band, plain band, beaded band. And it is a long stretch. and then plain band, and beaded band. Whoops, I missed one, didn't I? Look at that. Oh, you guys should have yelled at me and said, Sandy, no, you missed. Okay, so plain band, beaded band, and let me get that down there. And I have I have 3 on there now. So a plain band and a beaded band. Now you want to do this on the other side. Oh, that looks awful tight in there. Let me use my, there we go. Hopefully that's not too tight. It just looks awful thin. All right, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's on the 9th pin on the left-hand side, you'll have a beaded band. And then we'll go plain. And I believe the best way to do that is to count 9 from the top. We'll see. Not quite there yet. So just your plain bands, long stretch, plain band, long stretch. And if you get to the top and you've laid it wrong, you know, you can just take them off and relay them. It does not hurt anything. Let me see. So that's going to be a plain one, beaded, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I believe the one after this one will be beaded. Let's see if that's going to count out right. I should have counted these first. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So on the 17th pin on the left-hand side, oops, is where you'll start your beaded. Let's see if that's right. I'll just finish this up with you. Plain band, beaded band, and I'm not going to do the whole thing like this. I'm just doing this side so that I make sure that we've laid them properly. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully I did not miscount, and hopefully you watched this before. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then your beaded band. I believe that's correct. And then the plain band. So yes, that is correct. And what you want to do is you want to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'll start that with you, but you'll be able to figure out where to lay the beaded bands if you just look across. Okay, I'm pushing my bands down some because they're way up there. All right, so this is what that should look like. So at the top there'll be a plain band, beaded, plain, beaded, plain, beaded, plain, beaded, and then the rest of them will be plain until you get to the bottom. Okay, so let me just start that with you so you'll see how it goes. So what you want to do is you want to, the second pin bar from the right, you'll just do a long stretch and then you'll do a beaded band. Okay, and then you will add 4 beaded bands. So plain band, beaded band, plain band, beaded band. You'll do that 4 times. You'll go into your regular plain band and then your beaded bands. Hopefully I explained that correctly. So you're going to have a total of 8 bands on one, 8 beads on one end and then 8 beads on the other end. Okay, so let me finish mine up and I'll come back and show you what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so I'm back and you can see I've laid 1, 2, 3, 4 on both sides. The rest of the bands are plain until I get down to the bottom where I laid 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do zigzags up both sides. And pretty simple. First pin bar, first pin, out to the right, to the left, and these are just regular zigzags. Okay, and to the right, and to the left. It looks, well, I guess it's okay. It looked a little thin. Okay, so we're going to go over to the right hand side. We're going to do the same thing. First pin, last pin bar. And go to the left diagonal, to the right diagonal, to the left diagonal, and to the right diagonal. And do that all the way up to the end of your loom. And then I will be back with you when I finish mine. Okay, so I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid the diagonals here and this one right here. And this is what your loom should look like. Okay, now we're going to do something very similar that we did with these beads down here. I have beaded these. Very pretty, very shiny, and they are white. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay single bands up here. So your first one will be a plain band, and your second one will be beaded. If you're following the beading on this, whoops, can't get that on there. There we go. So plain band, beaded band, plain band, and beaded band. Hopefully, I think these are going to be okay. I'm not sure about the center that Andrea used, but hopefully mine will be the right size. I guess if it isn't, sorry for my hands, if it isn't, I can always add another something to it. So, okay, let's see. So, sorry for that interruption. Plain band, beaded band, plain band, beaded band, plain band, and I believe we go 3 of those. So I have 2 on here already, so plain band and beaded band. Okay, just like that. So the rest of them will be plain until you get to, I believe it's here. So let me just lay those. 1, 2, I have 3 of them on there. Let me just lay my single bands all the way up, and I'll let you know exactly where we need to stop in order to get them even on both sides. Whoa, there's a lot of bands on there. Okay, let me just keep going. So I get to where I think I need to be. Alrighty, almost there. Hang in there. Thank you. Alrighty. So I believe it's going to be here. So let me just check. Beaded, plain, beaded, plain, beaded. Yep, it's going to be down a little bit further. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I did that correctly. Okay. Alrighty. Yes, it is. Sorry about that. I couldn't see the whole flipogram, so oops, I got a band in there. So let's just, I'm going to kind of do it backwards to make sure I've got this correct. So that would be plain, beaded 1, plain, beaded 2, plain, beaded 3. Okay, so I'm going to count from the top here. So counting this as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th pin from the top is where you'll start to lay that beaded band. Okay, so we'll double check when we get done. When we get to the end of this, we should have a plain band. A plain band should be the last band that we have on there. So we'll double check and make sure. Okay, that is my beaded band. Sorry for my fingers again. Plain band, beaded band, and plain band. So that was right. Okay, so we need to mirror that on the other side here. So this is what it looks like. So you're going to have 3 beads. Every other band will have a bead on it. Then you will have plain bands, and then you will have these 3 beaded down here. So plain, beaded, plain, beaded, plain, beaded. Okay, so I'm going to start that out on the other side. Just make sure that you mirror what we have here. So second pin bar from the right, you're going to have a plain band and a beaded band, and then plain band, beaded band. You'll do that 3 times. So when you're looking at it, you have a plain band and beaded band. So if you did it correctly on this side, just make sure that you mirror it on this side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish mine, and then I will be back. Alrighty then, so I'm back, and this is what my loom looks like. You can see I have a plain band, beaded, plain beaded on both sides. Then plain bands, and then my other beaded bands. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to lay starburst up the center. So in the very center, second pin up, you'll up and to the right, down to the right, straight down, and get those pins, those bands separated, down to the left, up to the left, and straight up. And I'm going to do every other, my starburst first set is going to be pink for me, and then I'm going to do white. Okay, so make sure that you put a triple cap band, that's what I use, on the center of each of your starburst. Okay, and then when you get down to the bottom, I believe you want to put one on the opposite end of this down the other side. Okay, so I'll do one more starburst with you. You go up to the 4th pin bar, diagonal to the right, excuse me, diagonal down to the right, straight up and down, diagonal down to the left, diagonal, they're getting stuck together, up to the left, and then straight up. Okay, and then don't forget your cap band on the center of your starburst. So rewind if you have to. I'm going to go off and finish mine, and then I will be back with you, and I think we'll be looping this baby up. Alrighty, so I am back, and what I did not realize is that these 2 that we put up here are actually supposed to go down here. So I'm going to just remove this one and remove this one and bring that one down and bring this one down. So it goes up and then down. Okay, sorry about that. And now I will lay the last part of my starburst straight up. There we go. So sorry. Nothing we couldn't fix. And then I'm going to put my cap band on here. So make sure that your starburst all have cap bands on them. And then we're going to turn them around, and we're going to put a cap band here, here, and here. Okay? So let's do that right now. My apologies, I guess I just didn't, oops, wrong one. Need to make sure I have the right bands. Okay, so one, and I use triple. Sometimes I'll use double, but mostly I use triple. Triple cap bands. Oh, and that is a wrong band. And get that one on there, and then one more on. Oops, so sorry, finger got caught. 2 and 3. Okay. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to loop up the starburst. So we're going to start by going into the center, grab the band that's on top, which should be the diagonal that goes straight up, and you're going to bring it straight up. Okay, once, oh, get on there. Well, there we go. Oh, I'm getting caught left and right here. Alrighty, so then from there what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to loop out the starburst. The first one that's on top is this one right here. So you'll go in, grab that band, and loop it back to itself. And you'll do that for all of those. I pushed my bands down, but evidently it's a little heavier than I thought. And these bands are kind of thick, so that's probably what part of the problem is. Okay, go in and grab that one that goes straight up. Loop it back. Whoops, that is not the right one. Goodness, goodness. Let me give this a little wiggle in here so I can get the correct one. I can get myself unhooked. Now I am hooked for sure. Hooked forever. Okay, let's try this one more time. I'm going to go in underneath all of that and grab. I need to make sure I've gotten through everything here. Okay. All right, I think I did. I'm going to go in and grab. I have to wiggle a little bit because I got it out of order. Loop it straight up. Go in, grab the diagonal that goes to the left, loop it up, get something on there, and go in and grab that last one and loop it up. Okay? All right, hold on. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. My husband was going to bed, and I'm up playing with my looms. Alrighty, so we did the first one, and we're going to go in and do the second one. We're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to go in, the one that goes straight up, you're going to loop it straight up. Okay? Going to go in and grab this diagonal right here and make sure I get the right one and loop it back to itself. Go and grab the next one on top, which should be the diagonal that goes to the right. Loop it back. Go in, and this time I'm going to kind of sneak off around the side here and grab that one, I hope. There it is. And loop it straight up. Grab the next one, which should be the diagonal that goes to the left. Loop it straight to the left. And the diagonal that goes down and to the left. Okay? Rewind if you have to. Excuse me. But the next thing you'll do is you'll start with the next starburst. You'll go in and just grab that and bring it straight up. And then loop all the starbursts back to themselves. And I will finish mine and be right back. Alrighty, so I am back, and the last thing I did was this starburst right here. The last band I laid was this one that went straight up, and I have pushed my bands down, which you want to do, and this is what your loom should look like. Okay, next step is pretty simple. What we're going to do is go into the second pin bar, through the cap band, grab the band that goes straight up and just loop them all straight up. Now you're going to have to go through and make sure that you get the single band that goes straight up, and that is it. I saw the excuse me, I saw the bead move. But now you have a lot of bands on there because we brought the starburst back. So bring those straight up. Second pin bar on the right hand side, go through, grab that single band that should be on top, loop it straight up, go through and grab the band that goes straight up, and I saw it move, so I know that that's the right one. And go in and grab the next one and bring it straight up. Sorry, it's getting late here and throat's getting a little scratchy. So single chains all the way up to the end of your loom. Make sure you push your bands down, and I will be back with you when I finish mine. Okay, so I am back, and I brought my single chains straight up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work the zigzags that we put in here, and in my case they're the silver. So second pin bar, second pin up, going to go in, grab the diagonal that goes down, and bring it back to itself. Okay, go in and grab the one that goes up and bring it up. All right, going to go, so from now on, I mean this one went down, but from now on these are all going to go back to themselves. So you go into that same pin, grab the diagonal that goes to the right, bring it back, go in, grab that diagonal that goes to the left, and bring it back. Okay, I believe that's correct. Yes, it is. I'll do that with you one more time. Grab the diagonal that goes to the right, bring it back to itself. Grab the diagonal that goes to the left, whoops, go through all those, and bring it back to itself. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Excuse me. Second pin bar from the right, second pin up that has bands on it. Grab that diagonal that goes down to the right and bring it down. Go into that same pin, diagonal that goes up to the right, bring it to the right. Go into that same pin, grab the band that's on the top, should be the diagonal that goes to the left, bring it back to itself. Go in, same pin, grab the diagonal that goes to the right and bring it back. So you'll just be doing the zigzags back to themselves. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go off and finish mine. Make sure you push your bands down, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so I am back, and the last thing I did was the zigzag out to here, and the same thing over here on the right-hand side. So we have 2 steps left. This is what your loom should look like. 2 steps, and that's that. So we have these long stretches here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to grab that long stretch, and instead of bringing it back to itself, we're going to just bring it over to the left. Okay, a little crooked in there. Oops, caught. Go up to the next long diagonal that goes down to the left. Grab that, and instead of bringing it back to itself down here, we're going to just drop it down over here to the left. Up to the next one. I can get in there after getting in through all these and grab that. There it is on the bottom. And just bring it over to the left. So instead of bringing it, long stretches here, instead of bringing it down here, you're just going to bring it over here. And go over to the other side. Okay, got this long stretch right here. You're going to reach in. It's on the bottom. And grab that band. And instead of bringing it down, you're going to bring it over into the right, to the outside pin. Go up to your next one. Should have a bead on it if you beaded them. And it will go out and to the right. Just drop down slightly on a short diagonal. So that's the long diagonal, and that's the short one. I'll do one or more of these with you. Go in through all those pins, grab that long diagonal, and bring it down and to the right. So not back to itself, but over to the pin that's just down and to the right of it. Okay, so finish that up, and let me go ahead and I'll loop up part of the border with you. So what you want to do is you want to do those long diagonals first. Your diagonal's in here, you bring it out to this pin, the pin that's just down slightly from that pin. Okay, so I'm going to go in and go ahead and start the looping process for the border. Just going to grab that bottom band, loop it to the left, go through everything, grab that bottom band, loop it to the left, go in, grab that bottom band, and loop it straight up. So once you finish those diagonals, and you'll do your border and then loop these all the way up to the end until they meet in the middle. Okay, I'm going to go over here and do the other side. Down and to the right. Grab the band on the bottom, up to the right, and then take all the other bands straight up. Okay, and just follow your border all the way around to the center at the top. And I will be back with you to close it off and take it off of the loom. Okay, so I am back, and I've undone most of this bracelet, but what I'm going to do is go in through all of these bands that are on here. I'm going to grab that closure band and bring it up. If you did not lay a closure band at the beginning, then now is the time to actually pull one through there. Usually don't use C-clips, but you certainly can use a C-clip on this. I'm just going to use my trusty big fat plastic safety pin, and then I'm going to continue to take this off of here. Now, you spend a lot of time on a bracelet, so I don't suggest just pulling it off with your fingers. I mean, some people do, but I don't want to take the chance that it might get messed up. So I'm going to just take it off a little bit at a time. I did the sides first. And that centerpiece there. So just go ahead and take it off the loom. And along with me if that's where you are. And we'll see what we've got here. Very pretty. I have a feeling this is going to be too large for me, but I have other, look at, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Now, what you could have done, instead of just 3 here, you could have brought it up to 4, or you could have gone 5 with the beads on the side here. So I'm not getting a good, there we go, much better. Yeah, that's so pretty. I like the way she did these on the side so you can put a larger, you know what, let me cut this off of here. I'm going to have beads flying everywhere because I did not separate it first. Oh well, it's okay. It is what it is. That's what I always say. So when I have beads everywhere. Okay, so I could take this and put it right here in the center. Look how pretty that is. If you have a larger charm, you could put a larger charm on that. Let me try one other thing. Just bear with me here because I have a large breast cancer awareness ribbon. I still think it might be too big, but we can try it and see what it looks like. So I actually used the beads and the silver because I thought it would go with that. I thought that was a little bit bigger than it is. Okay, so I have a pin. It's just a regular brooch type pin. I'm just going to lay that on there. But look, that's pretty also. I think I like the silver. I wish I had a larger one of these, and I might take a look and see if I don't have something that's larger and is similar, but that is still very pretty there. Oh my goodness. All right, so I have beads to fix and bands to straighten. Very, very pretty. I have a feeling that should have gone there. I might have done something in there, but they were all odd. So let's see. Yeah, I think if I had gone down to this right here, I think that's 3 down from the top, it would have been better for me, but look how pretty that is laying there like that. All right, so I'm going to wrap this around my wrist, and you know what? My wrist is 6.5, and this does fit on my wrist actually perfectly. If I can get it straightened out. So, very pretty. If you don't want the beads way underneath here, you could have gone up several bands, you know, without the bead, and then started to lay your beads. Would have been perfectly okay. You can bead this any way that you want, but I absolutely love this. This is the Jennifer bracelet by the Looming Artist, Andrea. Go follow her on Instagram. Take a look at her YouTube account. I'm trying to remember if it's a Looming Artist or something else, but I'm sure she probably has that linked on her profile. So I'm going to actually see if I can find a larger charm for this. Either way, I will come back with pictures, and yeah, we can go from there. This might have been better if I had laid these silver beads between these right here for me, because these actually ended up on the end here. But it's still a beautiful bracelet, a beautiful design, absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I'm just beautiful. Okay, anyway, I am going to go and take care of business and come back with pictures. So thank you so very much for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please go ahead. You can give it if you give it a thumbs up, it will store this video in your likes, and you will be able to go back and easily find it so you can make it again. Or if you want to make it later, that's where you could actually store it. And then give me a follow for any future tutorials. Now, if I wanted, what I could do actually is I could take some more of these beads and I could actually just sew them in here. And that would be perfectly okay too. All right, thank you so very much for watching, and as always, be kind.